Woman ended the reparations debate in just a few seconds.
The practice of slavery was legal.
Legal does not mean moral. Apartheid was legal. The Holocaust was legal. Jim Crow was legal. And in this country, Black people being owned, raped, bred, and sold like cattle was legal because the government created, it upheld, and it protected those laws. Don't confuse legality with righteousness. Slavery was legal because the government made it so and profited from it. So let's go to bullshit point number 2.
To remember that governments did not own slaves. Slave owners did.
That is also false. The U.S. government was complicit on every level. It taxed slave labor. It upheld slavery in the Constitution. It said we were 3/5 human. Don't forget that. It passed the Fugitive Slave Act to help slave owners recapture enslaved people. And when slavery was finally abolished, slave owners in D.C. got paid reparations by the government. So yes, individuals owned slaves, but the government protected, they financed, and they rewarded that ownership.
In fact, the U.S. government fought a war to end slavery. How much should the descendants of the 400,000 Union soldiers who lost their lives fighting to free the slaves pay to the descendants of the slaves they freed?
And that's only half the truth, ladies and gentlemen. The Civil War was fought over the preservation of the Union and the expansion of slavery. Abraham Lincoln, he said himself, if I could save the Union without freeing any slave, I would do it. Slavery ended because of the resistance of enslaved people. It ended because of the abolitionists, and eventually it was politically necessary. All right, let's go to bullshit point number 4. Is this pissing you off yet?
It's bizarre to suggest that human beings should inherit the outrage of the deeds of their parents. Should the child born from a rapist be branded a rapist because of his father's criminality? Should the child of a mass murderer be sent to prison because of his father's crime? No.
Nobody is asking any individuals to be blamed. We are saying the government. We're saying institutions. And if you look at my page, I talk about institutions that benefited, that got billions of dollars off of slave labor. We're talking about systems that still benefited from slavery and from Jim Crow. That's who owes the debt. This is about inherited wealth versus inherited oppression. White families, they inherited land, they inherited money, they inherited homes, they inherited political power. We inherited redlining, we inherited underfunded schools, police brutality, generational poverty. It's not about blaming your daddy. It's about fixing what this privilege built.
In America, in the main, it was the Democrats who owned slaves, and the Democrats who in the main passed and enforced Jim Crow laws. It was also the Democrats who founded the Ku Klux Klan. Should the current Democratic Party be held responsible for this? No, we do not inherit the sins of our fathers.
We've heard this song and dance before, right?